It is that time of year where those stinking borers start showing their ugly heads, if you will. I was out the Gilcrease orchard a couple of days ago, and there was a couple of trees that were just decimated. And I had just been bragging to someone that I have seen no sign of borers. I had to treat that weeping Santa Rosa plum last year with imidacloprid to kill the borers in it, because it was going to kill that tree. They'd killed them the year before, and I had to replace it. And if I had to sacrifice fruit, which I did, before I knew there was a formula that you could harvest fruit from, I treated that tree. But lo and behold, I'm looking at the apricot this morning. There's several places here that has got the sap rolling out of it. Now, that doesn't always mean borers. Sometimes the trees will do this as just a bit of a stress. Sometimes they'll have some gummosis in them. Sometimes it means nothing. Sometimes it means too much. But in any case, this is kind of what you should be doing. There I am. Okay. I have a pick tool that comes in my tool set, but it's somewhat like an ice pick. And that's what I like to use for these kind of things. And I've got, well, I can just pick any example because there's 3 or 4 of them on this tree. And well, if I can get my camera going right. The camera is not charged, so I had to use my phone. What I will do is pick off this stuff here where the sap is. And the borers don't make a hole going in, they make a hole coming out. So they emerged from the trees usually in May. Then they'll start their whole life cycle ritual over again. They'll be looking for a mate. Then they'll start laying eggs on the trees. Those eggs will hatch, and they're just tiny little larvae. Then they bore into the tree, and they'll eat that cambium layer and start working their way in. If you don't catch these things early enough, like at the stage right now or within the next month or so, if you wait and don't notice them until August or the end of summer, they've already burrowed way into the tree, and you're probably never going to be able to get them out. But what we can do is take a sharp pointed knife and start picking away at this. And after they've been in there a while, as they eat, they kill that bark. Okay, they eat away at the bark, they'll kill it. You see how that's coming away? I don't see any green cambium. All that's kind of dead. This is letting me know that that's probably a borer that's in there. Trying to watch the screen to make sure I'm getting this. Now, if I dug into that and it's green immediately, I know that it's not a borer. And as soon as I run into green, doggone it, this doesn't look good. You just have to peck that stuff away. Is that the little demon right there? Is that him? Well, as soon as you start running back into green stuff, you can quit your searching. And one of the reasons a lot of people say you can just take a wire and stick into there. See, that's green, that's okay. There's no sense in digging anymore there. If you stick a wire in there, these things don't go straight. They don't take a straight line. They're liable to, they'll go all over the place. If you ever picked up a dead limb and found where they've been boring in it, you know, it's zigzag. So you might can kill a few doing that, but you can't depend on it. So this is not looking good. As soon as I get up to green now, there's no sense in following that anymore. As long as you find brown, and when they get in there, stay in there for a little bit longer, that just becomes real pulpy. Yeah, there's the little bastard. Excuse me. Right there he is. I think. Nope. Nope, that's just some pulp. There's a hole right there, though. You get the gist of what this is. What you should do in any case. Whenever you see that, see there's cambium there, there's nothing. You have to follow the tunnel wherever that thing goes. I'm not going to keep you here very much longer, but you get the idea. I'm going to do this with every one of these and follow it until I find out that either it's not a borer in there, the tree will heal back up, or I dig him out. One of the two. I'm just having a hard time getting with it here and trying to show you guys. But anyway, now that doesn't look like to me at this point that it is a borer. But I'm going to keep it in here and I'll bring you back and I'm going to do a couple more. But you get the point. Get you something, a sharp pointed knife. Follow that, just follow the trail wherever it leads you. And you'll either find out that there's one there or there's not. But you got to resolve it before they get in there, too deep. If we don't catch them at this stage, you're not going to be able to dig them out. You're going to have to use a systemic poison on your tree, and I don't want to do that if I can avoid it. I'll be back with you if I find him, but if I don't, this is how you approach that, to get in there to find him. Just follow it until you either find him or determine that it's not a borer. Got it? Later. Another thing while I've got you here, these little cracks and crevices like this are places that it seems like they love to lay their eggs. And also if a tree is damaged, it really likes that. Also in the joints of the tree. See right there's a big glob. I'm going to have to dig in there some. But wherever you see this, I would think that if there wasn't a lot of like sawdust looking stuff in this sap, that it was not a borer. But I found out last year that's just not the truth. Sometimes it can be clear like this and there's a borer in it, because I didn't investigate some early enough last year, and as it turned out there were borers and they killed a large pluot tree. None of this is showing any signs of death. But once you see a limb start to turn color, start to dry out, they're there. I can guarantee you that then. Otherwise, we've got to chase them like this. Okay, that looks like it was false alarm, thankfully. Or they are so very small at this stage that hopefully I killed them while doing it. I will never leave these thinking that it's not borers again, because I had to replace that 6-foot tree. It's 6 foot this year. I had to replace it. It was about an 8-foot tree that I ignored it last year, and there was about a half a dozen in it, and it killed them. I also had to replace this little whip tree. This is first year for it. Last year I planted that little Dapple Supreme pluot. It was a 1-year tree. The base of it was just about the size of that one. One borer got into the base and killed it, and I didn't know it until one of the limbs had wilted and looked like it had died. So anyway, get you a sharp small knife, ice pick, one of these kind of little tools. Excuse me, it's sunny and I can't see what I'm showing. One of these kind of little pick tools. Dig away into it until you either come to green tissue that's living. Let's see if I can give you a good example right there. I dug all that out to green tissue all the way around it. So if there was a little one in there, hopefully I killed it. But there was no sawdust looking stuff in there. Some of this was kind of dead material, but when you get in there and start digging this out and it comes out looking like sawdust, that's their frass. That's where they've been chewing and eating away and expelling that. That's a sure sign you're following a borer when you've got that real Not just mushy, but sawdust looking stuff. And sometimes you got to chase them a lot. Let's see if I can show you. No, I painted over this. That tree will heal okay from doing that, but I painted over this because this limb was exposed last year. You know, I had to chase these little demons from all the way up here, all the way in. I almost exposed this whole limb, and I'm really surprised that it lived. But it did, buried me a little fruit this year, dug those out. And I didn't want that that limb to just be exposed to the sun, because I had to thin this tree out a lot to get rid of those things last year. So anyway, be on the lookout. It's happening now. Like I said, I noticed one big limb at Gilcrease on an apricot or a plum tree that was already dead, almost half the tree. So be on the lookout. I hate to tell you. Good luck with them.